Hey everybody, it's Casey and Rex here with you on a Saturday morning. We're about to go live on the radio. This is our behind the scenes for our patrons. Rocking the Jeep hair on a Saturday morning. It's 81 degrees outside. I had the top down coming down.
Top down.
It's been raining for the last week and a half. So I've had the top up for a week and a half.
Absolutely.
You just asked me if I read chapter 1 of Slaughter Shark. The answer is no. I still have not read the first chapter of Slaughter Shark. I'm like the worst partner ever. So we did read chapter 5 at group on Wednesday. Action-packed stuff, man. There's not a moment of quiet reflection or any kind of exposition. It's just boom. Action. Yeah. Are you enjoying writing Slaughter Shark?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes,
having a good time with it?
Yes, because I have no expectations.
That's good.
Beyond the story itself.
Yeah.
And the thing is, every time I try to write something to make it big into a bigger universe, it never sells. So I'm deciding. I'm learning. I got to treat each book encapsulated as its own universe.
Well, and as a product, right? You're thinking about it from a commerce perspective of how do I reach a specific audience with a specific product that they want and they're willing to pay for?
Right.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that. Also, there's a song about that from the 90s. It goes, "Sell out with me tonight." Sell
I
out.
don't even consider it selling out. If you're successful, everyone says you're selling out.
I'm just
and that
kidding.
means you're selling your product well.
I'm just kidding. I 100% want you to find success. And if this is the way you're going to do it, then I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, well, it's not counter chickens at this point.
Today we're going to talk
Most
about...
likely it's not, but, I'm having fun writing it, and it is...
And that's really all that matters.
Yeah, it's a fun, violent book.
It is a violent book. So this week we're going to talk about war and using that kind of extreme conflict in your story. Have you ever written a story that had war as either the backdrop or
yeah. My first novel, Across the Wounded Galaxy.
Yeah, right. That's an intergalactic war.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Was it difficult for you to frame the factions and give them motivations?
Well, don't forget, I didn't come up with any of that stuff. That that's part of a larger.
That's the story, the video game story.
The RPG story, right?
Yeah.
So I created. So all I do is take that and write inside that. Essentially, it's someone else's sandbox.
Well, so do you think, because to that exact point, do you think when fantasy authors create war, because a lot of these books that I read that are fantasy books, they've created some kind of political conflict. Some 16-year-old girl is the only way to solve said political conflict, right? In this case now, the books I'm reading, they're not... She's not a 16-year-old girl. She's a grown woman, which is refreshing. But anyhow, usually these fantasy novels will create some kind of political conflict, some evil lord, dictator, king, whatever that has to be overthrown, and the good factions are the ones that are going to then take over the kingdom. Do you think there's more skill in creating that kind of imagined conflict, or do you think it's taking an existing conflict that we all know, like the Vietnam War or the Persian Gulf War or World War II, and setting a story inside that existing theater?
Well, the thing is, again, it's like with existing conflicts, especially when you go back in the past, that's a double-edged sword. It's the same thing we went to with the historical fiction.
Right.
How you have, there's a lot more. There's a lot of information there.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of details for you to get wrong.
Oh, true. So if it's a real thing, you gotta be true to the original story too.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Or just not mention too many details. What kind of, there's always going to be some jerk out there pointing out that this is wrong and that's wrong. And that didn't happen at that
That's not exactly what the fascists were about. In fact, they really wanted
No, it's more like technical equipment.
Oh.
That wouldn't be that type of gun. It would be this.
They never had that kind of weapon in that war.
Yeah, exactly. Or you see, that kind of trooper wouldn't have been issued with that sort of piece, and that's what this. And it's like,
all your military armory experts.
Yeah, exactly. So you just sit there and you roll your eyes, like, oh my god. So, well, it's something you could make up. You could control all the details,
right? True.
Or lack of details, especially in a fantasy setting, because you don't need any more expensive. A sword,
a
shield.
Well, yeah, if you get to go back to that medieval jousting and days of nights and things like that, everybody
Yeah.
knows that. We know exactly what weapons they had back then. All right, we're getting into it on the radio show live this morning at 9 a.m. on makethepointradio.com. We appreciate you, our patrons, for supporting the show. We're grateful to you, and we're glad to do anything we can to support your work moving forward. Don't forget, the South Carolina Writers Association is still accepting enrollees for the virtual conference, which is October 7th through the 9th. Take a look at mystwa.org and see if you want to be part of that. It should be a lot of fun. Attend a conference in your pajamas. Who doesn't want to do that? All right.
Absolutely.
We'll see you on the air.